Welcome to Secret Identity. I'm your host, Troy Bond, accompanied by the one, the only, the Beyonder, Brent Birnbaum.
Yo.
Quoted from the book, yo. That's what the Doom says to the Beyonders. Yo.
I'm actually dyslexic. I was saying oi.
Oi.
Ozzy.
Oi, oi, oi.
And the invisible woman, widowed of Reed Richards and now saddled to Victor Von Doom. It's Victor Von Slater Harrison.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I was like, are you playing peekaboo right now?
Hey, girl,
Yeah.
play a game.
I can't see her.
We're racking up the emotes. So there is Secret Wars 1989, 87?
84.
84. That's why it sucks so much.
What year?
It's the shirt I'm wearing. And then there is the one we're talking today, the better Secret Wars,
Yes.
2015, John Hickman's Secret Wars.
That's correct.
Now, I don't know if the first Secret Wars is a victim of its time. I remember the one episode we never released that we recorded was Dark Phoenix, and that was an older comic, and it was pretty dense, and it was another team one, so maybe that's why it was harder to digest. The first Secret Wars is basically Marvel putting their heads together, figuring out how they're going to sell toys.
Correct. That's
And
exactly what it is.
That's probably why the story didn't live up to what it could have been. But also at the time, nothing like that existed, so it didn't really matter till you read Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, and then you go, yeah, that's. I'm throwing that in the trash, the original one.
It's interesting because, like, I want to say it's because writing has gotten better over the years, but 80s had some banger storylines. I mean, like, arguably the greatest, most beloved comic books came out of the 1980s. Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, Daredevil Born Again, Kraven's Last Hunt. But, like, I think it was very new to do a crossover. And that's what that 80s Secret Wars was. And so I didn't really think they thought it through. I think it was literally just like throwing toys against each other, see what sticks.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't even see any of this as crossovers, the old, the new. It's just a fucking orgy.
Well,
of superheroes.
Yeah.
My mind is bleeding.
This is an
I
homage.
have a
It's a
TBI.
beautiful homage to what came before, and it makes it so much better. Like, it improves what you said, the original Secret Wars in so many ways. DC did a similar thing. They had Crisis on Infinite Earths maybe 2 years after Secret Wars. I've never shied away from saying I think that is a garbage storyline. It's beyond
Throw it in
stupid.
the trash.
Beyonder stupid.
Yeah, it's beyonder stupid.
It's beyonder stupid. It's really bad. And then they had a storyline, Infinite Crisis, in 2006, which I've said is very good and improved upon it in every way. It's very similar to Hickman's
Insists
Secret
upon
Wars.
itself.
It insists upon itself.
Story-wise, what did you have written down for us to go over?
So I have like a 5-sentence summary. So after the collapse of the multiverse, Dr. Doom seizes the power of the Beyonders and creates Battleworld, a patchwork planet where he rules as a god alongside a brainwashed Sue Storm and their children, aided by his right-hand man, Doctor Strange. The last surviving heroes and villains from 616 in the Ultimate Universe arrive, with Reed, the Maker, Black Panther, Namor leading a rebellion against Doom. Strange secretly opposes Doom, scatters the newcomers to protect them, but is killed by Doom for his disobedience. As chaos erupts, Thanos challenges Doom and is killed. Black Panther wields the Infinity Gauntlet in a final battle. Eventually, the real power behind Doom chooses to side with Reed, allowing him to take Doom's godhood and restore the multiverse. In the end, Reed and his family rebuild reality. Miles is integrated into the new Earth 616 as a thank you from the Molecule Man.
Even though everyone he knows is dead.
Everyone he knows is dead, but he's like, yeah, you guys are cooler anyway.
Yeah. I get to be in a PS4 game.
Yeah, exactly. I get to hang with Peter. And Doom, mysteriously healed, disappears with a restored face.
Yeah, Doom went on Nip Tuck.
Wow, I cannot believe that you took this freaking thick ass book and just put it in 5 sentences.
I tried. Well, because if I did, we'd be spending...
That was insane.
We'd be spending
That was
so
like
much
hooked
time.
on phonics.
Well, it's just like, well, thank you. But,
yeah.
Yeah, why didn't it work back in the day? Is it because they didn't know how to do these big team up stories? Is it because now we've had so many solo stories throughout the years that when you see crossover, you get excited? Like Ultimate Alliance games were so cool growing up because you could play as like members of the Fantastic Four and the Avengers and X-Men and put them all on one team. Are we just like, are we down for more superhero team ups now than we were ready then? Or why didn't it work then versus now? Would you say?
yeah, I think it was something new that they tried before. It's kind of like when you make the movie before you have the script. I think that's what that Secret Wars was. It's just like, we know the heroes we want. We know the villains. We'll create some character named the Beyonder. Let's see what happens there.
Yeah.
They didn't really think it through. It was the same thing with Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to infinity and beyond.
Right.
And you see in the 90s... You see in the
Infinity Stones
90s,
and
like, the shit starts to improve. You see with Infinity Gauntlet at Marvel, or you see with Kingdom Come at DC.
Yeah, I think what makes this one so good is at its core, and I'm glad you're wearing the shirt, it's a story about Reed and Doom. It's the two of them having their final battle before everything hits the reset button and starts over again. But it does it in such a good way where when it restarts, it doesn't take away anything from the story. It's not, I mean, like, they did take away Franklin's powers after this because, I mean, honestly, how could you have him in a book next to anybody when he creates whole universes? You gotta nerf Franklin, and Dan Slott caught a lot of hell for that, but I was like, no, that makes a lot of sense that he did that. That's what scares me about Avengers Secret Wars is who is this story going to be about? Is it going to be...
It's about family.
It's about family, but like, is the family going to be RDJ's Doom and Spider-Man? Or is it going to be... Because that story ended. Or how are they going to shoehorn in Pedro and RDJ's Doom? I don't really know how... This works so well because I read this for like the 4th time today. And once I finished it, the third time, when I was not having sex, I went back and I read the comics that came before.
For me, that's just a weekend.
It's just any day. You can shake Brent's hand any day of the week. Never be sticky.
He's always spreading those pages.
You were overloaded at this at first, I guess.
That is
say.
the understatement of 2025.
What was overwhelming? And you were jarred at this book.
Okay, well, first of all, I smoked before. Stupid.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew for sure you were like, you know what's going to make this book less confusing is weed.
I was like, oh, there's like 100 million characters. Let me just smoke the gun.
I can't read this.
Let's go back to a previous episode because when we said we were doing Secret Wars, I said, Slater, this is going to blow your mind. Like, you're going to need to read. And you were like, oh, it's going to blow my mind because I'm not a comic nerd like you and Troy. Because I'm dumb and I'm Slater and I'm Brent and I think women are stupid. Literally, that's like what happened on the episode. And I was like, you can't say that.
I am not worthy.
I'm like, okay, don't listen to me. You're like, you know what? I'll let me smoke a joint. I'm confused reading this book.
I started and I got to maybe page 3. And I was like, Troy, you're going to have to read this with me.
I read the entire
so we did it tandem like I'm a fucking child and it was a bedtime story.
I fucking said this was going to happen.
And I still had to take an intermission halfway through. I was like, let me take a nap for 20. My brain is fucking exploding. Yeah. Then I'm like, tonight, I'm going to have fucking crazy ass dreams tonight. I already know it. I'm going to be so fucked in the head, dude. I might go into a coma after this.
You followed along really well, though, once I started reading it out loud.
Well, yeah, because you did the voices.
I did do the voices.
It was all Bill Cosby.
Like,
you see, that remains untrue. If the child of this does not work out, it could be the end. Well, in my journey, death is not the end, brother. I will see you on the other side with Rudy. I will be the king of the dead where I belong. Now.
He did not use that voice.
Slater was like, thank God, now I feel comfortable.
Yeah. I was like, do it in all the worst people's voices, please. He did read Sinister like it was John Mulaney for a little bit.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Sinister makes this book.
I want to run, but I have no legs. How embarrassing.
And I'm decapitated 2 times.
It's a flesh wound.
Yeah.
It's a flesh wound. First, you consider my thirst quenched.
So the main character of this is the villain. It's Dr. Doom, the self-proclaimed god and ruler of Battleworld, wielding the power of the Beyonders. So basically, the Beyonder was the original villain of the 80s Secret Wars, and the Beyonder, he's just like a nerd. He's just like a broken character. Like,
he was kind of like a. I know he's not Asian, but he reminded me like of a old samurai movie villain.
Yeah,
like a mythical villain that was
totally.
Just out there. But he came out of nowhere. There was no lore for him. There was no nothing.
Because it was a terrible series where they were just like, he's powerful for reasons, and like they've since nerfed him, and then they made him
Christianity.
It's dumb.
And I like how they handled the Beyonders in this because you didn't really know who they were, but then they told you everything you needed to know about them, and I think that made it way more palatable to understand where this power came from. They had the Owen Reese element. They built everything in life, and now they want to destroy everything in life.
Well, that was the thing. In the original 80s, the only one powerful enough to take on the Beyonders was Owen Reese, the Molecule Man.
Yeah.
So it's cool that they brought him back. It's cool that they made Doom front and center as because in the original 80s Secret Wars, he steals the Beyonders' power. And of course, the first thing he does is make himself good looking. Next we have Reed Richards. He's the
Reed never breaks anything ever, Richards.
No. Leader of the surviving heroes who ultimately challenges Doom and restores the multiverse. That's what I love about the Maker, because Reed at his heart sucks. Like,
yeah,
he fucks everything up all the time.
Every book, I hate him.
Yeah,
I've said
There's
that.
even a panel where he's like, "I'm Reed Richards and I fix problems," and we both laugh. We're like, "Shut the fuck up, Reed!
creating
Don't.
If you
Reed,
say-
I'm a cuck Richards."
If you say you fix problems, you are the problem.
yeah. The person who fixed everything in this was Miles.
Yeah,
Because he gave Molecule Man the
I have
cheeseburger.
Yeah, and he got his homework done.
And he got his homework done.
Yeah, he's a fucking stud.
That was great. Who else other than after Reed, we got Sue. Is that who I'm going to guess is next?
I have Doctor Strange next, actually.
Yes, Doctor Strange.
So he's Doom's right-hand man who secretly aids the rebels before being killed by Doom. So he's the one
who's too much of a bitch to take the power on for himself.
Exactly. Or he knows his limitations.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did not write a prescription for power.
When Doom murked him, I kind of felt like Quicksilver. I was like, you didn't see that coming.
Yeah, obviously that was going to happen. Obviously you're going to die.
Yeah, because he didn't really leave I guess it all worked out in the end, but if T'Challa didn't save everything with the Infinity Gauntlet, he would have really kind of been screwed.
Yeah, that part confused me. Did T'Challa save everything, or did he just save Wakanda? Like...
Yeah, because they're still building the universe, right? Well, maybe they saved everything on Earth first because they needed a home base.
I feel like T'Challa saved Wakanda and then didn't realize that Molecule Man saved the universe anyway. So it was almost like a pointless effort by T'Challa.
Yeah, he did take the Soul Stone and then just closed his eyes. He was like, "It worked," and then the rest of the world was there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I meant to save you too."
It wasn't just for my people.
Exactly.
No, everyone forever.
Yeah.
We're not Wakandan nationals.
Was definitely trying to save Dallas.
This is the UN.
That we're still not a part of. Was there was an 8-year time jump after as well, or were they just picking up from, because at the after he takes the...
I don't think afterwards. I think
so. It was just including the jump from initial.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so when the Earths collided to when they saved everything was really like 4 weeks, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
On top of the 8 years, they were in stasis, but
right.
So it just picks up after that.
Homeostasis.
Homeostasis.
Yeah.
You just wanted to get that out.
Don't replace the head.
Didn't you, Beavis?
Stability.
Stasis.
I'm just gonna be saying random shit. I'm sorry.
Which is so different than all
Which
her
is what
previous
I always
ones.
do.
Yeah.
It's
Usually
my
she's
MO.
with it.
Yeah. What
Hey, oh,
Who else is in this?
Next up is Black Panther, who wields the Infinity Gauntlet and leads the charge against Doom alongside Namor.
Shines in this more than he really has as a hero in any MCU movie.
Yeah, other than his own one, yeah.
I think him having the gauntlet in Endgame is kind of a nod to this book.
Oh, yeah,
he's
I
got
could
it for a
totally see
little
that.
bit, and it also, they had to get 6 people to have it to get to the finish line, so it would make sense that he would have it. But and even he's quoted at the end being like, "On your feet, soldier," which is what he says to I forget what his guard's name is in
Okoye?
Yeah, when he grabs her arm and then
yeah.
he disappears,
Well,
he goes tells her on their feet, shoulders. I just saw maybe they're there, then maybe they're not, but this is around the time Marvel was starting to catch up with MCU comic wise. We got Sam is Captain America in this in the beginning, so they're still starting to take the little notches.
Yeah, and Jane Foster's Thor. And
yeah, and she didn't really have a big part, but it was nice to see her in this.
Totally,
I like Jane Foster a lot. She did more in this than she did in Thor 4.
No, that's for damn sure. I felt because the Black Panther movie hadn't come out yet, he hadn't appeared yet in Civil War. It was almost like they knew he was going to play such a huge role in the MCU.
Yeah, it was really cool to see him. And I liked the little Spider. I love Spider-Woman, so it's always cool to see her for a little bit, too. Even though she crashed and burned with Natasha.
Yeah, there was some quick cameos that deserved a little more time.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me, did you see the Justice League, the last animated movie they did, and it was Apocalypse or something?
I heard of it. No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, they all go to fight Darkseid, and Darkseid wins, but in the first 20 minutes of the movie, he kills 2/3 of the heroes on the roster. That's what this reminded me of. And I like that because it sets the stakes. And even with the second Earth, you're like, how are there 2 super Earths?
Yeah, no, totally.
You know?
Dude, I can't.
And also the Ultimate Universe is just getting murked.
I know, yeah. Well, that's when... Because I was reading the first 6 pages of the book with you first, and I think that's the ultimate stuff. And then it goes to Earth 616, and then I said, all right, now this is the second Earth, and that's when you went, okay, all right.
I'm going on autopilot.
It's insane. It's insanely confusing. It's needlessly confusing.
He's reading it to me. I just hear rain.
These are the guided meditations.
Yeah, I'm like,
I was doing
Can't work with reading.
Their Audi is very
I was
confused.
because, motherfucker, it's my job to protect the planet.
oh yeah, that was good. That woke me up.
Doom will put you to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
He does monologue a lot.
Yeah.
Say a word.
Next up, we got Molecule Man, the true source of Doom's power, who ultimately sides with Reed to reshape reality.
I want Bill Burr to play Molecule Man.
You want why?
That would be fantastic.
I think he'd be a really good Molecule Man.
Bring me anything to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so brutal.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's brutal, dog.
disgusting.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Oh, look at this, dude. I got one onion ring in my fries.
Oh.
I think this fucking Dr. Doom should be put down like a rabid dog.
Why am I floating? I don't like being upside down.
Doom, your face. Put the mask
Put
on.
that mask on. Oh, you built this whole no-bridge, have-an-ass battle world.
Oh, you're disgusting.
You got a fucking statue of Stephen Strange because you don't have any real fucking wizards in your battle world? Just remembering his Philly rant.
I'll remake the universe. I'm leaving Philly off, though.
I'm leaving Philly off.
I always like Molecule Man as a character. He reminds me a lot of Eren Yeager or Dr. Manhattan, a guy who's very ordinary, who's like has no business being as powerful as he is, and that's kind of his limitation. Like,
And he's just
I don't think
hungry.
he's as morally ambiguous as those two, though. He seems
Yeah.
pretty like able to, like when he was wrestling with Reed and Doom over who to give the power for. He was very even keeled with it. Well, he didn't really care if you were hero or villain. His one metric was, did you bring me something to eat?
Yeah,
That's how
true.
he was judging everybody.
well, that's how he grew as a character, because in the 80s Secret Wars, he he's very easily manipulated by Doom because of he's so insecure, even though he is all powerful. And I think this is kind of showing his growth.
Yeah,
they make
because
him-
he's hungry.
He's hungry.
Yeah, like was that just like a funny little joke, or was it like it actually fueled him to be more
I think he
powerful?
legitimately was hungry.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Miles showed a level of empathy that other characters didn't by actually giving him something to eat.
Yeah. It's like, if someone on the street, is begging you for change,
Right.
and everyone is like, no, sorry.
And
But
multiply that times infinity because that's what he was hungry for. He had like millions of miles across different multiverses
and
to
that
feed.
freaking burger, that Big Mac.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty good.
It did.
And maybe I got Shake Shack after reading this because I wanted that burger. Remember the other night I got Shake
Really?
Shack? It's because I had just read this issue.
I love cartoon food. Is that weird?
No,
Oh, no, not at all.
Like,
The
I
candy
feel
from
Like the
Neutron?
Lion King, like when they eat the bugs.
Oh my
those,
God.
they look delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like the
Brent's-
pizza from Goofy movie, but yeah, let's jump right to bugs.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, watch the bugs. Like,
Brent, I feel like you've eaten frog legs. Like I feel like you're that kind of dude.
Yeah.
Like chocolate covered grasshoppers.
I don't know. I've definitely eaten grasshoppers.
I was gonna
before.
say
have eaten those.
grasshoppers in like Thailand.
Yeah.
Young grasshopper
And where do you eat a grasshopper? On
where-
the legs, I hope.
Where,
in the
yeah, you're
backyard.
right. Where did I eat
You just
grasshoppers?
found it on the street.
No, it was in Mexico.
It was an endangered praying mantis.
Ooh, a foreign grasshopper. A deported grasshopper.
They wouldn't let him bring it through customs, so he just had to
Yeah.
go, well, I guess you're not going to be my pet. Ooh.
You're part of me now. You're so wise. Maybe that's why.
That is why.
Yeah.
He writes his breakdown by rubbing his hands together.
Yeah.
It's not a pregnant.
Also- oh, yeah. Probably.
I was just gonna
That's
say
how
those
wise
are,
he is.
Those are wise.
He
A
is the
Bug's
chosen
Life?
one. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Thanos. Thanos is great in this. I'm
Yeah.
glad he didn't get murked out in the first issue. I think he made it till the end.
He does. And then he gets murked.
His death is so great.
Yeah.
I have that action figure where it's Dr. Doom holding the skeleton of Thanos.
Yo, yeah, he just ripped his spine
Took
out.
the
Straight up.
spine out. Yeah.
That was brutal,
so
dude.
good.
It's like in Indiana Jones, like with the guy with the sword, and you're like, oh, this is going to be an epic fight.
Boom.
It just shoots him.
Dude.
That appears untrue. So good.
I couldn't even tell. I was like, is he dead? Is he really? Because some people be getting decapitated.
Yeah.
People be getting fucking blown up, and then they're in the next scene. I'm like, is this a clone? Did he live? What's happening?
Yeah, I get the rule in comics always is they're not dead if you don't see a body.
Yeah, well,
We
I
definitively
guess
saw a body.
we saw a skeleton.
Yeah, we saw
Okay.
two parts of a body.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff going on.
Like Wanda's not dead because we didn't see a
Oh,
body.
Wanda's definitely alive.
Yeah. There's a whole musical theater
Wanda.
arc of our Marvel fans that we still need to appeal to, so we can't kill off Wanda.
Wanda, psych.
Yeah. She going around killing a bunch of people for a bunch of kids she made on the internet, Shrek.
Next up, we have Valeria and Franklin. So Doom's adopted daughter and son, and Valeria's kind of one of the few who actually questions his rule. Franklin, I don't know what he's doing. He's just fucking.
He's waiting to be relevant at the end.
He's just hanging out in Galactus.
He's getting elephant rides from Galactus this whole book. That's all he's doing. Uppies. Galactus doesn't say one word this whole book. And Secret Wars, the original, he was pretty featured.
Yeah, he was.
His whole thing was he wanted to get the Beyonder, so the Beyonder would grant him the power of not being hungry anymore, which actually made a pretty. That was probably the one good part of that. Oh, that's my PS5 about to shut down.
That sounded like the beginning of Michelle Branch.
Yeah, I was playing Jedi Survivor.
Make my way downtown.
Yeah. Wonder why I am so hungry. I love Galactus. He's never really ever been done right, other than like certain Silver Surfer stories or the Punisher one where he has the powers of the Silver Surfer, Cosmic Punisher, I forget, or Cosmic Silver.
His original appearance is great.
And was it Kirby stuff?
Yeah, it was in the FF run, because he was like, what made that so cool is he was such a different type of villain that had ever really been introduced before. He was like, he wasn't this malicious scientist that was trying to take over the world. He was just like this being of like that was trying to destroy the world, but not out of malice. He was just like a force.
Did you ever watch the 90s Silver Surfer show?
No, everyone tells me that show is great though.
I think it's like 7 episodes, but I watched it 3-4 years ago. It's a fun show to, shall we say, smoke a cigar and watch. I would volunteer that after our recording. Yeah. It's very, very, very cool.
Silver Surfer?
Silver Surfer, yeah. And
you love him.
I love Silver Surfer,
He's got to get his own thing.
Yeah. Well, like when I was a kid, my favorite series was Silver Surfer and Howard the Duck. I don't know how they got paired together, but it was just
there a Howard the Duck series?
With Silver Surfer.
Wow.
Yeah, like... remember those? I forget what line of Marvel figures it was, but you would get the figure. Sometimes you'd get a smaller figure or a piece of a bigger figure to build, and then a comic book would be behind it.
Totally.
So I had the Silver Surfer one with Howard the Duck.
I used to have those too. I had the Doctor Strange one.
Yeah, I had that one too. And when you're a kid, you're just looking at it being like, this is, you have your Spider-Mans, your Ironmans, your everyone else, but then you see something like this, and you're like, I remember asking my dad, like, who are these guys? And he was like, they never did them right. Don't worry about it. And then like you watch the Howard the Duck movie, which I never really got to watch, but everyone says it was terrible.
The first Marvel movie ever made.
Howard the Duck, right? The George Lucas one? Yeah, I've always wanted to watch it.
Starring Chip Zien as Howard the Duck. Now that's a deep cut for you.
Wow, who's that?
Because I love musical theater. He originated, you guys know the show Into the Woods?
Yes.
Yeah, so he was the original baker.
And you're sure you're not gay?
Yeah,
call back on a Brent bit.
What are your thoughts on Cher?
Franklin, wasn't there an issue where or there was like a storyline where Professor X had to go into his head and make him forget he had powers because he was so powerful?
I think so. I think you are right. Like, he was the one who took down Onslaught in the 90s.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Okay, yeah.
Coleslaw?
Why is he so powerful? Is it because of his parents being exposed to those cosmic rays and
probably
the reproductive is just going to put him out there?
Yeah, I don't know why.
He's not a mutant, right?
He is a mutant.
He is a mutant.
That's why he's so powerful.
Oh, and what's his mutant power?
He's just has like... it always changes. I think he's like a next level telepath though. Like I think he makes Jean Grey look normal.
He makes sex look like a joke.
He's on a new level.
He's so silly.
Slut.
Silly
I want you to build me a new universe. We're like Lewis and Clark if they also created the land they explored.
Are you the mugger from Seinfeld who's
who doesn't want to would have been? I was actually doing there was a dance instructor in The Simpsons where Marge went to go learn the Macarena. And
okay.
We do not do the Macarena. We do 12 steps ahead. It makes sex look like a joke.
I'm hip. I'm with it.
Our money is so gay. Who else we got on this list?
Next up, we got Sue.
Susie.
Yeah, Sue. Trapped in Battle World under Doom's rule. She's unaware.
Trapped in Battle World. That's my Trapped in the Closet, but Trapped in Battle World. R. Kelly. Sorry. Thought after Bill Cosby, anyone was fair game.
Yeah, no, that's where we draw the line.
Yes. Well, those victims are going to get royalties off this podcast.
Yeah, as they should. Free toilet paper for life.
And don't free R. Kelly. Anyway.
Anywho.
This is the most ADHD episode I think we've ever done.
No, it's good.
But the book gave me ADHD.
Yeah, no, we have to break down our own breakdown just to keep you entertained.
Just so I don't have a breakdown.
Miles and Peter, they survive. Hey, Peter. They survive the end of the multiverse and play small but pivotal roles in the rebellion. Yeah. I love that when Reed and the Maker were talking. They're like, let's figure out the source of Doom's power. And Reed's like, I got my best men on it. Yeah.
I had a question about Miles. Was this because Miles in the Ultimate Universe came about after Peter died, right? He gets shot, taking a bullet for Captain America. Does he come back?
Does Peter come back?
Yeah.
Not until very recently. He knows this Peter, the 616 Peter, because the Spider-Verse was originally a comic storyline before it was a movie. So they met. They met when they met in the Spider-Verse storyline.
Okay, because I knew that they were from different universes because their fonts and the speech bubbles were different.
Think of it very similar to like Peter B. and Miles in the Spider-Verse movies.
Thank you. Yeah. I was confused. Yeah. Brent clears it up. Doom knows all.
He's like the Oracle. That's like a sneeze.
Bless you.
I loved when you heard the ambient noise from me on the Nightwing episode. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing.
I had no idea what it was.
Dude, it was so funny. I want to like get that sound bite.
Like Nightwing got his name from Superman.
Yeah, I want to make
really?
it.
Who that?
I'm gonna make that your text tone.
Surprisingly, the noise I make when I nut too.
That's surprising.
That's where it all comes from. Literally.
My vinegar strokes. Just trying to nut.
You make it sound like a medical emergency.
I know.
Help me! I'm about to nut.
Look, Reed, I know I stole your wife, but I just did it so I could nut.
Ooh, you have health insurance, right?
You're either coming or going.
Ooh.
Next up, we have Namor. He joins forces with Black Panther to oppose Doom. Every time, I love Namor in this, like, because every time, like, he's supposed to do something, he's like, "Nah, you got it, T'Challa."
Yeah, he also is like the most un-assholey Namor I've ever seen ever in this book. He's like, T'Challa, you almost made me cry when you said, I'll see you on the other side, Reed. It almost brought tears. And then like he threw a trident through MODOK's head when MODOK was given like 2% shit. And he was like, your king said, come on, y'all better come on. And I was like, wow, Namor's so cool when he's not trying to cuck Reed.
I know. I also love how like when they get the gauntlet, Namor's like, you can't give it.
You can't give me this.
You can't trust
he even trusted himself. He's like, no. Do not give this pyro matches. Someone's got to step in and stop me at some point, guys. It's gonna be me this time.
What is that? Like, what does it do? What's the powers of
the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah.
So it's made up of 5 stones. You have 6 stones. Thank you. You have the Reality Stone, the Soul Stone, the Funk Stone.
What'd you say?
The Funk Stone.
The Funk Stone.
The stone that give you the powers of funk. What are the 6 stones? You put it on and you just know how to play bass. What are the 6 stones, John Travolta?
Yo. There's the funk stone. There's the fever stone. There's the greased lightning stone. There's the dildo stone. Yo, and of course there's the Kaniki stone.
Oh, God.
If you put all these stones together, what does it give you?
You get Captain Planet. And then I fuck Captain Planet. That's how I stop pollution.
Oh my God. All right. So it turns you gay and you can kill 2 birds with one stone.
Well, what's funny about the stones is like they didn't have a meaning until James Gunn wrote, I think, Guardians of the Galaxy, and he just came up with what all the stones will do. But
they're gems in the comics.
They're gems, the Infinity Gems. But where are they? Realities, soul, mind,
time,
space,
and is it fun? Reality, soul, time, mind, space. There's one more.
Funk.
McJagger.
Hold on, wait. I can answer this because I have a book with a cover on it. Let me answer that.
I have a book with a cover on it. I usually don't. I tear that off. I didn't know you're supposed to keep those.
I'm going to try to associate which is which from the movies.
Okay.
So blue was the Tesseract, and that's the time
space
stone.
one. Yeah.
That's the space.
Yeah.
Okay. So green. What was that one?
Green's time.
Time. Orange.
Orange is soul.
Red.
Reality.
Yellow.
Mind.
What color is that?
No fucking
idea. And that's
idea.
the one we don't know what it means?
Oh, mind. I don't think we said before.
We did say mind.
Oh, we did.
Brown?
So this one we don't have?
Brownstone.
No, that's the funk stone.
That is the funk stone.
That's it. I'm not Googling it. We're keeping up with our tradition of not Googling things. This is the funk stone.
That literally looks like the book from Hocus Pocus. Where it's like a little eyeball.
My ex gave this to me, and I found it in storage when I went to go get Bone out.
Right? Yeah. That's witchcraft in there.
Man, fuck that movie with that kid where we're just like, hey, we need to sacrifice a virgin.
Pow! Power.
Power.
There it is. Power.
How could we forget power?
Sacrificing a virgin made you remind you of power.
No, I wasn't listening at all. I was really hung up on it.
Sure you weren't, you fucking weirdo.
What did you say?
I just said power.
No, before that.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I was talking about how I hate Hocus Pocus because there's like this teenager in the movie. They're like, we got to sacrifice a virgin.
And then you were like, power.
They're like, we got a virgin.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they snitched on their private parts.
No, I wasn't.
Rude.
You know, you said Hocus Pocus, and then I thought of Purple because Agatha all along.
Oh,
Hocus
okay.
Pocus was like Hocus Pocus 2 or 3.
Yo, real talk, I like the Funk Stone a lot more than the Power Stone.
Yeah, me too. It's the same thing. Funk and power go hand in hand. It's the Don Cornelius Stone.
The ability to summon the Soul Train.
I was just going to say it's Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Come on, world!
You can only use it on the 21st of September.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in the Avengers movies, Thanos is, or the big event is like, the movies leading up to Endgame are the Infinity Saga, and each of the movies has one of the stones in it, and Thanos is tracing them all down so he can put them in the gauntlet, and once you have all the stones, you can basically just do anything. It's
You
like
turn
a
into Mick Jagger.
Yes. Yeah. Through and through.
Yeah.
And then
You can dance.
You get your gauntlet and you paint it black. And Thanos, his goal was to get the gauntlet and then snap half of reality out of existence because the universe was running out of resources. So when you get the gauntlet, you can pretty much do anything. So the argument always was, why didn't he just double the world's resources?
That's why he's way better in the comics, because in the comics he's a simp. He's in love
he's
with
doing it for Lady Death,
exactly.
right?
So like, because exactly the argument you made is exactly why it doesn't work in the movies. Like, yeah, the movies are good, but it's just like he's a Ricardian. I get it. Yeah, just double the resources. In the comics, like it's like, hey, I'm in love with this woman. She's the embodiment of death. So to impress her, I'm going to wipe out half the universe.
Oh.
Yeah. It's and she's not impressed.
This comic thing, yeah, no, she
Genocide
isn't.
does
And
not
he's
make
pissed.
me wet.
Yeah.
So genocide does not make me wet.
Yeah, who am I, Padme?
I need a global genocide, okay? I need a multiverse of death. And then maybe you can get in my pants.
We have like two more.
Beautiful.
Like this is just a group. These are like the survivors, like Captain Marvel, Star-Lord, the Maker. These are key survivors who
They're from
challenged Doom's reign.
616?
Yeah, Maker's from Ultimate.
Right.
Captain Marvel and Star-Lord are from 616.
How did they end up on the same raft? Did they?
It's a great question. No, they were in different.
They
rafts.
were on
There's the
different
Ultimate one, and then there was like
The Maker's one of my favorite Ultimate characters.
Great character.
I love him. He, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Sue leaves him and then he does that thing to his brain and then becomes a bad guy.
yeah.
Right?
He sets off Ultimatum.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who did he take out Wanda and Quicksilver?
I honestly haven't read that book in a while, but I think that's probably what happens. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Please.
Brent does not like that book.
No, I think Ultimatum. No, I'm okay with Ultimatum. I just haven't read it in a while, and I'm not going to Google it because that's what we don't Google
We don't
on this
do that on
we
this
don't
show.
do that.
We draw. You see this? That's us drawing our own conclusions, Mr. Alex Ross. Thank you.
We jump to conclusions.
We do.
It's a jump to conclusions, Matt.
And we always land.
On our
that
faces. Who else you got on the sheet?
Last up, I just have the Thor Corps. So they're Doom's enforcers, many of whom rebel against him.
So many Thors.
Yeah.
So little time.
Why did
I
he-
wish there were that many Hemsworths.
Yeah, you would never walk again.
There's only 3, but we
Two,
only knew
really.
of 2. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is the Kevin Jonas of the Hemsworths.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I know.
Now, why didn't he take the Thors and the Hulks and make them his?
Yeah, that's it. Who the fuck is the Maestro? Is that Bruce?
I never knew who that was. I thought you knew.
No, I had no idea. I thought maybe that was Bruce. Like
I just kept thinking of the Seinfeld episode.
The Maestro.
that guy was Niedermeyer in the original Animal House movie.
The Maestro? Oh, wow.
You're worthless and weak.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Hulks, like this Captain America movie I told you was The Incredible Hulk 2. And the Hulks have such cool stories, and there's so many cool things you can do with them, but it's just never done right because they always focus on the smashing.
I know. That one panel that lasted, it was like
Smash,
I know.
smash. Pass. I mean, smash.
Smash it. Pop it. Spit it in Hulk's mouth.
Twist it. Spit in my mouth.
Yo, what was
Pop
that?
it.
Hulk
Nut
smash when Hulk have consent.
Yo, I'm on board, and so am I.
You want to save the universe? You must play a game of puppet.
You ever notice how all Brent's impressions are gay?
What are you talking about? How could I be gay when I work out so much?
It is dudes shirtless around dudes.
Smash.
I'm not gay, but if I was, I'd be into it.
Come over next week. My husband and I are having wine. We like wine.
I love that he is gay in severance.
He is gay in severance.
Yeah.
It's really, I think we're putting out a force field. It's catching on. To
I think you and I were an item.
Well, an item of some kind. You caught up, right? Did you watch the last episode? Yeah.
so good.
I watched it the night it came out.
Did you?
And I netted.
You netted.
Yo, yeah.
Just try to net.
So now that we've got the characters down,
Yes.
why did you do a sentence breakdown rather than book by book?
Because there's just a lot going on here. Like, I mean, like, Slady, I was confused reading this, and I'm like, and I fucking live and breathe this stuff, and I'm like, why are we spending so much time with Maximus? Why is the thing a wall?
Yeah, that never went anywhere.
Yeah.
I am Maximus Meridius.
They're like, and you know who the prophet is? It's Maximus.
And they were like, so.
And then
Who is that man?
He was a herald of Inhuman, sir.
Yeah, is he an Inhuman?
Yeah.
Inhumans just like, why have they never caught on?
It's because it's like trying to make fetch happen. They're just not going to happen.
we should totally just kill Doom.
Just totally kill Doom. Rita's just as pretty as Doom.
Rita's just as smart as
just
Doom.
as smart as Doom.
We should totally just stab Doom.
Mean Girls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we're all learning.
We're learning.
We're all learning, Brian.
You're honestly, your stew is getting pretty good.
Thank you. I'm trying. I have to. It only is good when I say Brian,
Right.
like because I have to.
is.
Get
Well, that's like my Joe. Hey, Peter. Hey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Peter.
right. Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Inhumans show?
No, I heard it was terrible.
I heard it was terrible.
Ramsey plays
I
Maximus
watched.
in it, though, and apparently that's the only highlight.
Ramsey Bolton?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love how you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, there's only like one character I can think that's one named Ramsey.
Ramsey Gordon.
Ramsey
This is
Gordon.
shit.
No, he's just a really nice chef. No, take your time. It's very hard to prepare a meal for 45 out there. You went to culinary school for 5 years. Your mother's dead. This was her dream, not yours.
This is live television.
Beef Wellington takes all day.
All
We're
day.
trying to make you do it in 2 hours.
It's Hell's Kitchen for a reason. What elements would MCU be wise to pick up on from this book to adapt this Secret Wars and not make the same mistake of a Civil War? Because we already know they're going into this too fast.
Totally.
But I feel like that doesn't mean they can't save it. It could be done well.
I don't know what they're going to do with Doomsday, but I think it will lead.
Me either.
Yeah, because I feel it will lead directly into this.
Yeah, it's going to be an Infinity game, Endgame.
Yeah, because apparently Strange isn't in Doomsday.
But then he came out and said, wait, I am in Doomsday.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it. My
Right.
bad.
He's probably near the, because he's going to play an enormous role in this, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably will have the same amount of screen time in Doomsday that he did in Endgame, where he's popping up.
Is it still going to be Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yeah.
I like him as Doctor Strange.
Oh, he's
I
great.
think he does too.
He should be the guy. He should be the face.
Yeah.
Like, when we're talking about who's going to be the new face, and it was obviously supposed to be Chadwick, it should be Benedict.
Yeah.
Well, who has had more story than
Brad
Benedict
the Broken?
You know, like he
Eggs
really.
Benedict. Why didn't he retire from
Benedict?
acting? Yeah.
I don't think so.
I thought he did, and then he like keeps coming back. It's like fucking Tom Brady.
What's his name retired?
Yeah, I might be confusing him with someone similar.
The method actor.
Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yes.
Yes.
That's who I was thinking of.
Well, he's been playing
They're very
Benedict
similar
Cumberbatch
to me.
all
I don't
these
know
years.
why.
Yeah, they both
drink your
abandoned their
milkshake.
boys.
My boy.
Abandoned
my boy.
Strange was cool in this. Like, it wasn't until I read it again today where I always thought he was just kind of a yes man keeping his head down. But then as I'm reading it today, I'm like, no, he's really kind of like the only one keeping Doom in check or like keeping Doom at bay because he knows what he's capable of. And he also is the only one with memories of what used to exist.
He made the deal with the devil, and he's like, I don't trust Doom. He goes, but this is better than nothingness. But then when Reed came back, he's like, oh, okay, we can be something more.
Yeah.
Which Doom always knew.
Yeah.
Doom, I don't think, is capable of creating, which, I mean, he obviously surrenders to Reed at the end when he's fighting. He's like, yeah, you could have built this world better. But Doom's just not capable of building a world like that. Now, I, for one, would always argue that I would live under Doom's rule in Latveria. You have job security. You have no foreign hostile takeovers. You have benevolent ruler. You have 3 meals a day. Like, Doom pretty much keeps it tight.
Magic.
Latveria. Magic. Yeah. Nobody messes.
Everyone learns sleight of hand in Latveria.
Where's your tax returns? They're right here.
It's behind your ear.
Like compared to like what we got going on over here, I'd rather take Doom. But he would not be capable of being a god, and he even very early in this book comes to terms with that, where he's like, it might be impossible to create a perfect world and then still reign God supreme over it. The old gods may have had a better idea where you create the world and step back and make them believe in you.
Which is what Reed and his family do at the end.
Yeah. That's why it works.
Doom's always been trying to like be the ruler of everything and everyone, though. Like that's just his
ego's
shtick.
so out of whack.
Yeah,
and I think that's what the Fantastic Four being stolen as his family sort of are always in your face within this book. Like he can't help himself. He's like Jimmy McGill.
That was crazy though. Like, was her memory gone, or was it a different version of her?
Who, Sue?
So when the rafts and everything were getting pulled, I assumed that was Doom pulling them into the universe.
I agree. Yeah,
in the battle world,
and then Reed's stretchy
and
arm was
he
trying
couldn't
to
catch
get her.
her.
Okay.
And then when Doom pulled them into battle world, their memories just start over. So he brainwashed her with the Fantastic Four story.
So she was basically severed.
She was
severed. Yeah,
pretty much everybody in that world was.
Just add one confusing reference to another, and it makes sense.
Replace Doom with Kier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo.
Mr. White. That's crazy.
Replace Doctor Strange with Adam Scott.
Yeah, I gotta compare it to other things, and then it makes more sense.
Technologies. They're weird, but they're also amazing.
I watched him in an interview where somebody was like, why do you highlight some words and don't highlight others? And he was like, I look at dialogue like a song. I like to sing some notes differently.
He said that?
Yeah, and I was like,
that.
that's perfect. I love that.
A song by Foo Fighters.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. The Beyonders in this were a cool aspect. I really loved them. I loved the zombie horde was really cool.
Zombie horde was cool.
I was just gonna ask about those fuckers.
The symbiote, the Venom symbiote.
I'll show you with the others as long as I get to eat your brains. What were you going to ask about the zombies?
So many people were so hungry in this.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hungry to not.
Oh, I hope you swallow. So I was wondering what the zombie situation was. Like, were they like dead other like heroes and stuff, or was it all bad guys? Like, was one of them like Captain America all zombied out? Who was that dude with the helmet?
He was the one who jumped.
Yeah, that was Captain Britain.
Oh, I'm the one who jumps.
Yeah, the one who was like, when it's your time and people drag you down, don't let them, just jump.
Okay, and then they go through like the little freaking portal thing, and then that was the distraction, right? Okay,
yeah, and those were from there was a book series. I guess it's like always on and off. It just depends on what they feel like doing with it. Called Marvel Zombies, and it was like Walking Dead had a baby with them with the Marvel universe, and there's just a zombie outbreak, and so I guess Doom took part of that world and made them the banishment wall, and then the Annihilation Horde is a Fantastic Four thing that I predominantly I remember the Fantastic Four. But
so they were behind that wall, and then they broke it down.
The zombies were behind the wall that the thing was, and but they were behind they were in front of the Annihilation Horde. So when that's not how they got through. They got through because T'Challa popped up and went through this portal. The Annihilation Horde, the second wave of things, were behind the wall, and that's what broke when the thing decided, okay, this isn't all real, and they were able to be reasoned with. And I think Doom ordered them to go after the detractors. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of like friggin' White Walkers.
Yeah, it's like if you put zombies behind White Walkers, that's essentially all it was. It was like two sets of the same thing.
Okay.
One was it's like if you put alien invaders behind White Walkers, the alien invaders from War of the Worlds behind zombies.
Wow, this is layered.
Yo.
This is crazy.
I
feel
think,
high again.
What?
I feel high again.
I know. I feel like I got that contact high from you guys.
I'm not even high anymore. My brain just is frozen.
You want to get high? You want to get high? You're telling me that you can build this whole perfect universe yourself. That's what you thought, didn't you? Didn't you, Richards? Richards, you can save your friends, or you can get high. Oh man! Well, I guess I'll see my friends another time. I choose both.
Oh no, baby washcloth!
I can save my friends and get high, baby Valeria. I think my favorite line in this is when Doom and Reed are fighting, and it's before Reed goes, yeah, I know I do a better job than you. When Doom is like, you think you're better than me? And Doom is like, and Reed's like, no, you don't get it. I always thought you can be better than
who you are.
Yeah.
Because that's the difference between a hero and the villain right there. And Reed in this book, At the end, he comes to terms with who he is, but throughout it is grappling with the terms of what it means to be a hero. He couldn't really save his wife. He shows up, he sees Doom has stolen this whole thing, and he's like, am I really a hero? And that is what makes him a hero. Is because heroes, the best ones we always say, are the ones that save the people that they think they can save, and not the ones who just... and although the Punisher does have a really cool thing in this, when Wilson Fisk invites them all to have a drink at a bar, and then the Punisher shows up to the bar where all the villains are drinking, and he goes, gentlemen, they say when you die, you can't take it with you, which begs the question, what am I going to do with all these bullets? And then it just cuts away, inferring
Major Omar Little vibes there.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, indeed. And so before the world ends, the Punisher had one more order of business, and that was to murk all of the villains that were still in Manhattan. And I thought that was the most Punisher thing ever. So great. Yeah. And that Punisher I read is John Barenthal. That Punisher hated those villains because they take naps.
Wait, they take naps, like as in like...
No, John Barenthal like has a beef with naps. You ever watch him like on TikTok and he's like, I don't take naps, man. That's for the birds. Like, you like sleeping during the day, man. Like, what are you taking a nap for, Fisk? Let me tell you something, Fisk. Let me tell you something, man. I got 8 hours, sometimes 4, man. You take naps. He has like has a whole beef with naps.
Wow, really?
Wow.
Hates naps, not a napper. He is not the Punisher because someone killed his family. He's the Punisher because his family came home one day and they were all napping.
He's like, out of here.
He's like, Drake, I don't take naps. Me and the money are way too attached. Yeah, he was like, what are you guys in here, napping?
Bullets.
I also loved the emails. Like, Fisk just had all their emails ready to go.
With those email addresses.
Yeah,
it was like,
the lizard at Hotmail.
Who cares?
At whocares.com. Yeah.
I love that the lizard made his own email. It's like...
Yeah, at thelizard.com.
Yeah, it's like Kurt Connors has no idea that
it wasn't Kurt Connors at midtownhigh.com. Right. It was the lizard at midtownhigh.com. And they're still like, who is the lizard? His password is Kurt Connors. You might be in danger, Doc.
Capital K.
Any other pointers about this book?
No, I think we're good. I think if
my PS5 went into rest mode.
If there's nothing else, we can probably get into the Kirby tier, right?
Did you? Yeah, I'm done with that. Did you have any other any notes?
No, I'm glad it's over.
Well, gang, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them behind. We're gonna follow along, and then we're gonna jump into Kirby tier, which we drop one episode a month, and this week is the Kirby tier month. So please continue to follow us along. True believers, everybody is part of the highest tier, and. What? Oh, I was like,
there's a piece of string on you.
And there's a little piece of string with all of us in Kirby tier. Please be sure to follow along. This book was certainly dense, but it was one of our hit requested ones. And
for sure.
Be sure to please, if there's any more mainstream hit comics you want us to see us cover, please.
And it was good. I want to preface that. I did enjoy it.
It was good.
I love this book.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, this is just my last episode, so.
Yeah.